Phoenix held Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to 5 for 18 from the field in Game 1. 27% shooting, the kind of line that on most nights against most stars decides a playoff game in the home team's favor. Phoenix lost by 35. If the box score says the coverage worked and the scoreboard says it didn't, then the problem is not how Phoenix is guarding Shai, the problem is what they are being asked to guard. This is not a shot-making problem, it is a math problem, and Phoenix doesn't have a defender who can solve it. Let's get specific about Game 1. 29 minutes on the floor for Shai. He attempts 18 shots and makes 5. He goes 0 for 4 from 3, 13 field goal misses in 29 minutes against a Phoenix defense that, by every contest metric you care to look up, executed its game plan. And he still scores 25 points. How? Because in those same 29 minutes, he gets to the free throw line 17 times. 17! That is more free throw attempts than field goal attempts in the same game. That is a pace of roughly 21 free throws per 36 minutes, which is a number no human in basketball history has sustained over a full game. He hits 15 of them. Phoenix wasn't wrong in those shot contests. They closed out hard, they walled off the mid-range, they ran a second defender at every ISO, they did the things you draw on a coach's whiteboard when you are scheming a primary scorer in April. And every time Shai missed, the next possession ended at the line. The shot chart says contained, the play-by-play says fouled. Those are different worlds, and the scoreboard lives in the second one. So the lesson from Game 1 is not Phoenix needs better defense on Shai. The lesson is that Phoenix already played the defense they wanted to play. They held him to 27%, and they lost by 35, with Shai sitting at plus 24 when he checked out. You can win every shot contest in a possession and still lose the possession. That is what foul drawing does to a defense that thinks shot percentage is the answer. Phoenix won the shot chart in Game 1. They did not win anything else. Game 2, Phoenix tries the opposite. Same series, 3 days later, same building. The film session was clearly about the foul rate. Watch any defensive possession from Game 2 and you see the adjustment. The primary defender plays a half step further off. The help comes from one pass away instead of from the strong side. The closeouts are short, deliberate, hands down. That adjustment is exactly what the steelman would prescribe. Stop fouling, live with the mid-range pull-up, trust your length. Shai shoots 52% from the floor. He scores 37 on 25 shots, 2 of 5 from 3, 9 for 9 from the line. A perfect free throw night that tells you the only thing he didn't do was settle for tough fadeaways. He took what the new coverage gave him, and he took it efficiently. Now look at the comparison. Game 1, 27% shooting, 25 points, 15 free throws made. Game 2, 52% shooting, 37 points, 9 free throws made. The field goal column moves dramatically. The free throw column never gets below 9. Phoenix has discovered the hard way that they have a 2-item coverage menu. Item 1, contest him tight. Watch him shoot 27%. Send him to the line 17 times. Lose by 35. Item 2, back off. Watch him shoot 52%. Give him 9 free throws. Lose by 13. Both dishes beat you. The variable in this matchup is which version of Shai shows up to score. The constant is that he scores. Pull both games together and the pattern shifts from anomaly to system. Across 67 minutes of basketball, Shai is shooting 41.9% from the field, 18 of 43. That is not an elite number. That is 10 full points below the 51.9% he averaged across the regular season as the league MVP. A reigning MVP at that efficiency on most nights is a player you have a chance to beat. And yet Shai is a plus 40 through 2 games. Plus 40. The team he is on outscores the opponent by 40 points across the minutes he is on the floor, while he himself is shooting 10 points below his MVP season pace. The reason is the column to the right of his shooting line, 26 free throw attempts in 2 games, 24 made. A pace of 14 free throws per 36 minutes. Hold on to that number, 14 per 36. The leader of the entire NBA in free throw attempts last season was Giannis at 10.6 per game. League leader, best mark in basketball, across an 82-game schedule against 30 different teams with 30 different coverage plans. Shai himself was second on that list at 8.8 per game. In this series against one team, he is at 14 per 36. That is roughly 50% above his own regular season pace as the second most frequent foul drawer in the league. And on a per 36 basis, it is higher than the league leader managed across an entire regular season. This is not regression to the mean territory. This is what the matchup is. Phoenix's defense, by trying to answer Shai in any of its available shapes, sends him to the line at a pace that exceeds what the best foul drawer in the league managed against any defense last season. The free throw line is not a side effect of how Phoenix is guarding him. The free throw line is the defense. So here is the question the data is forcing. Is Phoenix bad at defense, or do they have an arithmetic problem they cannot coach out? The honest steelman, and we have to take it seriously, sounds like this. It is 2 games, the sample is tiny. Phoenix can clean up the bailout fouls in Game 3. Their primary wing can be more disciplined on closeouts. Their bigs can stay vertical at the rim. The nail help can rotate 1 beat earlier. These are coachable fixes, and Game 1 itself proves the coverage can work because Phoenix did hold Shai to 27% shooting. The fouls are an execution issue, not a personnel issue. That is the adjustment book Phoenix will sell to the locker room before Game 3. On its own terms, it is a reasonable book. The problem is that every line item in that book pulls from the same defensive budget. Send more help to the nail to crowd the mid-range pull-up and you give up cutters and corner threes. Shai has 16 assists in 2 games against 3 turnovers. He is not a downhill scorer who turns into a black hole when help arrives. He is a passer who reads where the second defender came from and finds the body that defender left. The help-to-nail adjustment is not a free upgrade. It is a trade. Guard him without fouling, and you need a primary wing who can stay in front of a 6'6" shot creator without reaching, without grabbing, without bumping on the recovery. The body in the league that does that consistently is on a very short list. Phoenix does not employ one of them. Their best candidate is the player who was already on the floor in Game 1. That player ran out of legal answers while holding Shai to 27%. There is not a hidden gear there. So when you stack the steelman against the roster, the steelman does not go away. It just costs Phoenix something they cannot give up elsewhere. That is the difference between a coverage problem and a roster problem. A coverage problem is solved by drawing a different scheme on the whiteboard. A roster problem is solved by trading for a player you do not have. Here is the verdict. Phoenix does not have a coverage problem. They have an arithmetic problem. There are 3 zones Shai can score from: the rim, the mid-range, the free throw line. With the bodies on this roster, Phoenix can only cover 2 of them at a time. Whichever 2 they pick, Shai takes the 3rd. Cover the rim and the line, he gets the mid-range, 52%, 37 points. Cover the rim in the mid-range, he gets to the line, 17 attempts. The foul tax beats you. There is no third combination that flips the math. This series does not get longer because Phoenix adjusts. It gets longer only if Oklahoma City gives a game away. Game 3 is in Phoenix. Home crowd, different rotation. A fresh shot of belief in a building that has watched a lot of bad playoff basketball this decade. The coaching staff will draw something new on the whiteboard, and it will look reasonable on the whiteboard. But arithmetic does not travel. 3 zones, 2 defenders, 1 star who lives at the line. If Oklahoma City plays its game, this series ends in 5. We will see. Next episode of Chalk Tactics, we go inside Game 3's first 12 minutes and ask whether Phoenix found a 4th answer. Until then.